Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Data Test. In this video, I will be discussing about Databricks constraints. This is the 12th video in Databricks 101 series. If you have not watched our previous videos, please do check them out. Let's get started. In the SQL world, we define constraints on tables to ensure data integrity. Is it possible in Databricks as well? Let us check it out. One second. First, we will observe how constraints work in SQL world. I'm using here Microsoft SQL Server and SQL Server Management Studio, which I have installed in my local system. First, let us get started with creating a simple database. One second. In the interest of time, let us resort to maybe utilizing the existing statements. But when you practice, ensure that you are typing and practicing this. Fine. I'm creating database by the name DB2 and I'm switching on to using it. Let us execute. One second. Let us try it. Let us now say use DB2. It's well and good. Next, let's go for creating a table. I will be considering student department example. I will be creating department table with just two columns, department ID, department name. Department ID, we want to treat it as primary key. Let us create department table. Well and good, it's done. Let us try to insert record into the department table. Insert into department. The department ID 10, department name is data science. Working fine, no error. If I re-execute it, what will happen? It throws error because we are violating the primary key. Primary key by default is not null and unique. Already 10 value is there for the department ID. We are trying to insert again, so it is a duplicate. So we are violating the primary key, and that's how primary constraint works in Databricks, in SQL. Let us now try to create one more table. We will take that to be student table. In the student table, along with the primary key, we will try to have foreign key as well. Student ID is the primary key. Student name should be not null. So here we are using the not null constraint. And department ID will be referring to the department table because each student will be belonging to a department. So that's where we are defining here foreign key. The student department ID is going to be foreign key referring to the department ID of the department table, right? Such way we are creating the table here, student table. Well and good. Let us try to insert the records into it. Three columns we have. We will try to insert the student ID, student name, and the department. Student ID 1, name is Ram, and department 10. Department 10 already there in our department table. So we didn't see an error. This is working good. Let us try to insert one more record. Let us say student ID to be 2. Name, let us try to make it as null and check what will happen. We have defined not null constraint on the name column. So we are violating it. So we get the error. Let us try to now uh, insert the record with the name maybe. 2 is a student ID. Ram is the name, or let us change it to something like this. And let us make department ID to be 20. Will this work? No, because we are violating the foreign key. We are trying to refer to the department which is not existing in our department table. So far, the only department we have is department with the ID 10, right? So we are violating the constraint. To overcome it, first we should be inserting a record into department table with the department ID being 20. Let us do it. Afterwards, if you come to this statement and if you execute it, this works fine, right? So this is a behavior of primary key, foreign key, and not null constraint in SQL. Let us try to bring up on here the check constraint as well. We want our student IDs to be greater than 0. So for that, what we could do is I will alter my student table and I will make it, we want the student ID to be greater than 0. So such a way, we are defining the constraint. Alter table, table name, add constraint, constraint name, and the check clause. Fine. Let us execute it. It is successfully executed. Now let us try to insert record into the student where student ID will be less than 0. -1 I am giving. Will this work? Obviously no, because we are violating the check constraint. So this is how we can take a quick refresh on to how the constraints are working in the SQL world. Let us try to replicate it now onto the Databricks platform and check, are they going to work exactly same or in a different way? What shall we do? We will create the database first as we did in the SQL. Create database db2, use db2. I'm executing them. With that, database should be created for us and it should come up over here under this workspace catalog. Serverless, okay, it is still working. It was paused maybe. It got created. We have the db2 here now. Well and good. Let us create the department table and let us insert one record into it. Let's go here. Create table, department. Primary key is still the same. Exact same syntax, no changes. Fine. All of this, let me try to execute. We have a problem. Here we should change it to db2. Fine. Let us try it now. This works. No error. Let us try to insert the record again. So we are trying to duplicate the department ID, but there is primary key constraint on the department ID. Will this work? Yes, it's working. But in SQL, it was complaining. So what's the takeaway? In Databricks, the primary keys are not enforced, right? Let us now try to create the student table and it will be having foreign key reference onto the um, department table. Okay, as we did earlier. Fine. So all these changes we have. Fine. This is our table just like earlier. Let us create the student table. Same exact things. Let us try to replicate and check whether it's going to work. We will try to insert the record of a student who belongs to department ID 10. This should be working because department anyway it's there already. It should not complain. Well and good, it's working. But what if I repeat it? I repeat, but I'm changing the department ID to be 20, which is not existing in the department table. If I execute it, is this enforced? No, right? It is still working, so it's not enforced. So primary key, foreign key are not enforced in Databricks. Fine. Is the not null enforced? Let us check it. Let us try to pass this to be null. It says not null, constraint is violated. So not null is enforced in Databricks. Fine. We have the last one. that is a check constraint. Let us try to add check constraint onto this student table through the alter statement. We want student ID to be greater than 0. Well and good. Afterwards, we will try to insert a record with the ID being less than 0, and we'll observe whether this constraint is supported in Databricks or not. Yes, it is supported. It is violating the constraint with values and all, it says. So with that, you can infer here. We have two kinds of constraints in Databricks. One is the enforced constraints, and second one is the informational constraints. This foreign key and primary key are the informational constraints in Databricks. We keep it so that it is good for us to track through the importance of the keys in the table. So as a developer, we have to take care of enforcing the primary keys and foreign keys through our logic. You can observe here. Uh, Let us check through. Let's go to catalog. We should be able to see these keys being defined. Let's go to catalog. Let us expand upon the database and the table. So we have student table. You could see it says that student ID is the primary key. So looking at this one, so we should be able to make out that we are supposed to treat this to be primary key and this one to be foreign key. Likewise for department, just foreign key will be foreign key is not there, primary key will be highlighted. Even we get to see, one second, let us check through the relationship between the tables. Here the student table has primary and the foreign key, right? So here we have option of view relationships. So this way it will be easy for us to track through how the tables are depending on each other. The relationship diagram, the ER diagram, which we design in our SQL and all, right? So with that, in this video, I hope you learned the very important concept, that is enforced and non-enforced constraints in Databricks. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.